So we're gonna basically do Python problem solving questions from this website. I'll put the questions down below of what I'm doing, of the questions I'm gonna be looking at. So before we further ado, I'm gonna open a Python engine and let's code. So the first question I'm gonna read out. Let me quickly find that. Oh god, sorry. Okay, so the question is, given two integer numbers, return their product. If the product is greater than 1000, return the sum. So what it's saying is, print numbers, two numbers that can multiply each other, and if the multiplication is greater than 1000, return the addition as well. So let's say the multiplication is 500 times 3, which is 1500. Now that fulfills is greater than 1000. So we also have to print 500 plus 3, which is 503. So let's write a code that can fulfill these wishes. So first I'm going to put number 1, and then I'm going to put an input statement where we can import the integer. So int 1. Okay, so it means integer 1 can be input. Now num2 equals to input int 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to declare these as integers, because when you put an input function, it automatically declares it as a string, which we don't want because we want numbers, not letters. So we're going to do this. Okay, so now we're going to print num1. Well, we should probably write this properly now. Integer num1 times by integer times integer num2. Okay, so let's see if it prints anything out, because we don't want any errors. Let's just try 503. Looks like we got an error. Oh god, we got a bit of an error here. That's not good. So num1 times integer num2. Let's see if this works. God damn it. God. 5 and 8. Okay, so it does work. Perfect. Now let's get to the next part. So we just done half the question. So now we need to make sure that if the product of the number is more than 1000, it also gives us the sum. If it's less than 1000, it should just give us the product. We don't want the sum. So we're gonna put an if and then a statement. So if so we forgot to put product here equals to print. Let's see if it still works actually, because my god, I apologize for this. It still does that. Okay. So if product is greater, so we need a greater sign, than 1000. Okay. Then print integer num1. Oh god. Plus integer, I don't want a string, num2. Okay. Else I'm going to tell this program to pause. So it means it does nothing, it just there for the sake of it. Let's try 503. Got another arrow. Integer product, maybe this works. Okay, this should be 500. Another 3. Line 7. Let's see what happens if we put int product. What happens? So if int product. Oh god, this is really frustrating. It's greater than 1000. That's extremely weird. If integer product is greater than 1000. Let's see, what happened here? That's I'm gonna try and read the problem actually, so line 6. What the? Alright, this is extremely annoying. God. Product equals to print. This is not. Product equals to print integer number 1 times integer number 2. This is not going to be. Oh god. Five and 8. I'm gonna change this a little bit. And just make this into a variable. I see what happened. I think I know what happened. I'm not supposed to do that. Let's see if this is any better. Okay, so it does work. So let's see if we can do NEN 500 by 3. Okay, so we successfully figured out the problem, and that was that print was a string and it was interfering with the integer, so therefore those two don't collide with each other, so we have to get rid of that. I was initially going to do that at first, but I thought that could not be the problem because it shouldn't. But anyway, programming's weird. Don't blame me. So we're done the first question. So I'm going to get rid of all this and we're going to move to the next question. Okay. So, next one is a really interesting one, and I actually want to explain this to you. So, given a string, display only those characters which are present at an even index number. So basically in programming this is extremely weird, but the first letter of any word, like of any string, is declared as the 0th word. So that means the second letter will be the first word, the third letter will be the second word, and then the fourth letter would be the third letter, if that makes sense. So I'll explain this to you. Before we get to this, let's make an array of integers. So let's just put the word print, for example. So in programming, the first letter is always the 0th letter. So the first letter, the 0th letter, the first letter is P. So that means there has to be the 0 letter. So that's the 0th. R is the second letter. So in programming terms, that'll be the first letter. In I is the third letter, so that has to be the second, and so forth, so on. So what we have to do is we have to print the 0, 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, so on, so on, depending on how many letters there are. So we're gonna use the letter print because that's my favorite word, print. Everyone loves to print, don't they? So I'm gonna put array of string equals so I'm gonna put a string of P. Maybe I'm gonna close it later. R I N and Jesus Christ and T. So we're putting this into an array of tuples. So tuple means you can separate them, so yeah, this is a type of array. And what we want to do is we want to print the even one. So we're going to print the 0th letter, the second one, and the 4th one. So the 0th one is P, the second one is I, and the 4th one is T. There are 5 letters, however, since 0 is included, there are 4 index. So we're going to put value 1 equals to print array string, and we're going to put 0 right here. Value 2 equals to print array string 2, because we want the even index ones. And value 3 equals to print array string 4. And now what we're going to do is we're going to print value 1, value 2, and value 3. And that should give us PIT. So P, 0, I, second, T, 4, or even numbers. So it fulfills this wish. This is the final one I want to go through. So it's a bit similar to what we just did, but it's to do with the integers. So I'm going to put array int equals, I need to read the question, I'm so sorry. So given a list of numbers, return true if the first and the last number of a list is the same. So if the first and last number in that array of integers is true, then print true, otherwise print false. So we're going to create an array of numbers, just any random number, 2, 5, 8, 9, and maybe 0. Okay, and we're going to create an if statement, array int if So I'm gonna try it. Let's see if this works actually. Before we get into any errors, I don't want to run into errors like that. So array int 0. Okay, it works. So again, we are basically doing the same thing. 0 is 2, 0, 5 is 1, 8 is 2, and so forth. So if array int 0. Now in programming, when we say if array int is equal to, we just use 2 equal sign. Array int now we need to find the index of the last number, so we just do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 equal to 4 colon. Remember when you use if and then, you have to use colon for your syntaxes. Print the boolean value true. Okay, so it's gonna print true, but in this case it's not, because 2 does not equal to 0 automatically. Else print false. So it's false because 2 does not equal to 0. Well, what if you put 2.0? Now this is true because 2 is equal to 2.0, but let's see if it prints true. And voila, it prints true. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's quite a long one, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you're curious to know what software I'm using, this is called PyDroid 3. You can it's a Python Android app where you can program anything on it. And if you're curious to know the questions, I'll order the questions on the comment section below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned.